expertise and also their kind of foundation of the competencies. So then for you to identify their training needs, okay, this will be the base. Yeah, so then you can, as the HR staff, then you can evaluate, right, to current employee, do they have all this, for example, the competencies or the expertise that they might need, okay. Right, and the second one will be design, okay, design for the training program, right? So one of the most important issue, you have to set up some learning objective, right? And create more motivational learning environment. Yeah, for example, for most of the company, actually if they provide a training program, even though they try so hard to design for all this training program, but then there will be very limited employee to participate. Of course, then that will be a big minus for the company. They spend so much money and effort. Maybe they also invite a very famous lecturer come to share about their experience. But then if no one participates for that training program, then it's also a big loss then. Yeah, so then now at a day, as I know for some company, they would try to link for all this, how many times that you participate for the training program. So then you will link to your performance evaluation, right? So then as, for that can motivate a little bit for for this employee to participate for all this training program. Right, and implement the training program, like for different job position. Of course, it will be better for you to use different type of training program. Okay, the most often approach to be used would be on-the-job training, and the others, it would be various by different type of job positions, such as apprenticeship training, okay, behavior modeling, vestibular training, etc. Or nowadays, we will have this computer-based training. Okay, then you can learn about all these different, program online, right? It will be more space-free, okay? And yeah, some mobile training, yeah, it's also the same then. Okay, so for the types of on-the-job training include, can someone tell me? Yeah.
Coaching.
Huh?
Coaching.
Coaching. And what else?
Job
Yeah.
rotation.
Rotation. Very good. Coaching and job rotation. Okay, these belong to the on-the-job training then. Okay, and then of course there's some other steps over here would be more useful. I think I will skip this for your reference then. And the apprenticeship training, what's that about? That indicates it's a little bit kind of, you have a mentor, so then that leads you, okay? Or some employees, they are more experienced, okay? Then they lead you to, to follow their procedure, and then you learn the skill from them. Okay, this is apprenticeship training. Okay, so this will be the process be more often to be used by those skilled workers. Okay, so this is a combination of formal learning and also long-term on-the-job training. So for some job occupations, that will be more often to use this apprenticeship, such as what? Chef, right? Carpenter, child care development specialist, sort of, right? Yeah. So yeah, there are some particular job position would be, better for them to use this apprenticeship training program then. Right, vestibular training. Yeah, vestibular training. It indicates there are some job occupations, like for example, if you're new, but then the company need to train you. But then the training process, well, you might need some equipment for you to use, and it's a little bit costly. Okay, when it's too costly or too dangerous to train the employee on the job. Yeah, so then they use this, we call it vestibular training, for example, pilot. Yeah, guess what? If you are the passenger and then this pilot is on the training, and then do you get scared? Of course, right? You get scared, right? Because they are not like kind of qualified. Yeah. So then then it's better for them, for the company to use this. We call it as valuable training. Okay. So then, well, after they've been training and then they already get the certificate. Yeah. So then they can onboard them, right? So here there's a video. I will show you. There's a line man. They also use this flexible training. Do you know what's a lineman? There's an electric pole, and there's some people, they need to climb up to the electric pole to fix it. Sometimes after the typhoon or some hurricane, there's some electricity is, it's been, shut down. Yeah, so then they might need to fix it. Yeah, so then for this blind man, yeah, they have to climb up to this electric pole, yeah, to fix it. Yep, that's to go training then. To save a little bit time and let you check for those videos by yourself. And lecture is also the quick and the simple way to present the knowledge to all the trainees. Yeah, then that's also a more traditional way. Computer-based, yeah, that indicates now the trainee, like they can learn, space-free, and whenever they like, okay, log into the system. So then they don't have to stay in the class, right? So it's a kind of more computer-based then. Okay, simulated. Okay, so virtual classroom. Okay, virtual classroom, yeah, it's also similar. And nowadays, yeah, we also have, plenty of online courses. Yeah, it's not just only for, some training program from the company or from some particular organization. Actually, nowadays, after you graduate, or now, if you are interested in some particular courses, because this will be, from this website, I'm not that sure, have you ever used this? Coursera. Yeah. This is it's also free, okay, and then it has a variety of courses, and it's been offered by some top universities worldwide. Yeah, and okay, or you Google for it, Coursera. Yeah, I think it's a little bit strange. Yeah. You just type it up, Coursera, and then it will list up different type of courses. And for some courses, the duration will be like around, it will be various, 6 weeks, 10 weeks, sort of, and it's free. You just need to maybe just need to be the member. Yeah, and then the courses that will be offered in there, of course, it will be different from the campus. Yeah. So then you can check for that. Yeah, then, well, you can also enroll to learn a little bit more. Yeah, check for that. This is also good then. For some people, they also learn some other skill, by using Coursera. Yeah, so, yeah. The other day, I read an article. It mentioned about, there is a guy, I think he's from Taiwan, and then he graduated from medical school, but then he did not select to be a doctor. Then he went to United States to study kind of biomedical engineering, something like that, for the PhD program in the United States. Yeah, and of course he's quite talented. Yeah, but then I'm not that sure. I think he also get into this university. It's also a good university. So then he select to conduct the doctoral dissertations topic. Of course it's also very hard. Yeah. So then, of course, and then his advisor also did not have any idea why he chose that topic. It's a little bit kind of very difficult. Yeah, so then I think after some years, yeah, and actually in United States, if you don't graduate in time, or well, if you don't pass the qualified exam, etc., well, you cannot continue. Yeah, then I think after maybe 6 or 7 years, he gave up. Yeah, he gave up from his PhD program. Yeah, then because actually he's quite intelligent, so then he also found out like nowadays because he has this medical knowledge, right? And nowadays the AI knowledge is quite important, right? So then he can learn about these two uh, different he can have these two different specialties, for his future career, then it will be the best, right? So at that time, it seems like he also tried to start his own business in the United States, but then on the other part, for this AI, in the combination of AI and also medical, he has this medical specialty, but he does not have the specialty in AI. So at that time, he want to start this new business, and then he want to probably join or invite some companies. They have this, maybe for the kind of joint venture, yeah, from the other from the other company. They have this specialty in AI. But then, of course, for him, he's kind of nobody, right? Yeah, so no one want to cooperate with him. So then he got very frustrated, and then he he made up his mind, well, maybe it will be a good timing for him to learn about the AI by himself. Yeah. So then he learned about all this knowledge, yeah, this specialty from, as I know, this online. I'm not sure I use Coursera, as I know it's from all these online courses. Yeah. So that means that he learned about all this knowledge just by himself. Actually, this is also a talent. It's a very important talent. Like, starting from now on, because it's a very important talent. Like, if you feel like you're shortage of some knowledge, then you try to explore the way to learn about it. It's not like you wait, because now, of course, you are in campus, and then you can also learn something from the class. But then for the knowledge that for you to learn from the class, of course, it's also a little bit limited. You can count for, each week we have 3 hours class, but then, for the whole semester, to deduct from all these midterm and finals, etc., actually the total hours that you can learn from class is also limited. So self-learning is very important. Yeah. So now, because of this report, it mentioned about this young guy. Yeah. It seems like kind of within this couple of years, he came back to Taiwan. He started his own business. The business from him is made kind of, because he has this two specialty. One is medical, right? Another one is AI. And nowadays, this to combine these two specialty together, actually it's quite popular. Yeah, so then he has this, company, and now I think it seems like kind of the business run pretty well. He also instruct some doctors now, currently, in those hospitals in Taiwan, because for those doctors, they have the knowledge of medicine, right? But then they do not have the knowledge in AI. Yeah, so then he's kind of a little bit instruct them, how to, combine these two knowledge together. Yeah, right? So then that is the issue, kind of self-learning. Yeah, it's a very important talent nowadays then. Okay, maybe it's about time to take a break, but I just only have some more slides, and let me finish up, then we take a break then. And for the training, actually, one of the important issues is to provide the employee with a lifelong learning. Okay. Here I would like to say, the other day I also read an article, it mentioned about there's a very big company, and then this company, they do very well in their HR practice, and then they also got awarded. And this, I think this magazine the reporter kind of had the interview, with this HR manager from this company. Yeah, and then he mentioned about like nowadays, actually they already transit a little bit from training into learning. Okay, for the company to provide for the employee, they transit from training to learning. Do you know what's the difference? It's a little bit similar, right? Actually, it's different. Training indicates it will be you can see like kind of the motivation, or the service will be provided by whom? By the company, all right? But learning, it will be motivated by whom? By the employee, all right? So they try to shift the concept, okay, from, employer side to the employee side. Let the employee know about, they have to learn. Yeah, because then it will also solve the problem. As we mentioned, if the company provide the training program, but then, for some employee, they don't feel like I have to learn. Do you think it brings them the motivation to learn? No, right? So then they try to shift, from this, because we always talk about training, but now they really shift to, kind of build up this mindset for their employee, like they have to learn. Okay, learning is more important, right? So, and yeah, because we talk about this, and it bring me this, like some, give me some implication about this article. Okay, lifelong learning, never stop learning, even though after a few, a year, 2 years later, after you graduate, you also have to keep learning. Okay, diversity learning and some cross culture. Nowadays, it's kind of, more global oriented. Yeah, so then this cross culture issue is also one of the most important issue in training. Otherwise, like for example, there's some teamwork. It's also a little bit hard to, like the project is also a little bit hard to accomplish it. Right, so then for the managerial level, of course, they also need a little bit training, right? So then it can improve their managerial performance, right? So for the managerial level, the most often approach that we use will be like, for example, job rotation, okay? So in the near future, like after a few years of, work experience, and then if your company see you as a potential candidate, or like kind of the successor, remember this successor? Well, they might put you into different department to rotate a little bit, because in the future, if you're at the top position, of course, you also have to know more, about what each department's function, all right? Job rotation, also coach method, all right? So then it will be like maybe the one who's going to retire, and then they coach this new manager, new general manager, or by some case study. All right. So that is why during the MBA's courses we will have this case study. Yeah. This is also bring some more important capability. For example, like for diagnose, how do you diagnose the problem? For each case, then by this case analysis, you know how to diagnose the problem from this and under this kind of situation, right? And then how do you find the solutions to solve all these problems? Okay, yeah. If you still remember earlier, a couple weeks ago, I also showed you this video, like in the job interview, this assessment. Management center, yeah, then they give you a case for you to check, read through it, and then, then you have to discuss it, like do this a little bit like a leaderless discussion. Yeah, so this is also a little bit kind of training, yeah, to see your potential, like case study. And university related program. Yeah, now we have this executive MBA, you know that? It's quite popular, executive MBA, which indicates there are some employee, they are at work, but then they only have the bachelor degree, so then they want to learn a little bit more, yeah, or if they can get this master degree, so then, well, their salary could be raised a little bit. Or there's some people, their background might not be in business, maybe in engineer, sort of, yeah, so then they get this, they don't have to give up their job, okay? So they are not a full-time student, so then they can come to the class, during the weekend or during the evening time. Yeah, actually at our university, at our business school, we also have this course, Executive MBA's class then, right? Okay, executive coaches. Yeah, some people, they might recruit some outside consultant, okay, to coach a little bit for this manager. Right, so then of course after the HR department or for the company to conduct all of this, yeah, one of the most important issue is to find out what they have done. Are they effective or not, right? Yeah, either this approach is good or not, right? So then some company, they might conduct some evaluation, survey, right? Survey. So then, in order to conduct survey, well, if you want to check this tool, is this by using this approach is good or not? Well, it would be better for you to have a control group and another one is a training group. You divide them, all right? Within a department, you divide, people, those employees, your staff into two different groups. Okay, one will be, under some training program, another one without them. Then you will see the outcome. Probably a few months later, okay, you will see the outcome. So then you will know about is that training program effective or not then, right? So then, and on the there another approach. For example, you provide some lecture or some online training courses. Yeah, and after the employee, they have seen all this video online courses, and then you let them, fill out this form evaluation sheet. Yeah, so then you would know about how do they feel, is that can meet with what they need or not then, right? So then the last step, they have to let this participant to provide their feedback a little bit, it's so kind of informed process, okay, controlling process, okay, everything is related to the management, as we mentioned earlier, right? Planning, organizing, leading or staffing, and then the last step will be controlling, right? So in management, you always have to think about, bring these 4 different functions into your consideration. Okay, and it will be more complete then. Right, so we quickly addressed for some guidelines, okay, some key points in training. Yeah, hope you captured some key ideas then. Okay, so then, what time is it? That's 3:12, okay, so let's take a 10 minutes break, then we come back from case first or reading first?